So like I've already mentioned before, this is by far the worst My GM series on YouTube. Now why is that? Well, first reason, like I've mentioned, is because every single time I show a gameplay to you guys, we win. Besides like 2 different occasions. It creates the impression that we're just running through the league with our woes. When in reality, we're like a 500 team. You know, we're the 5th seed in the East right now, that's an accomplishment. But you wouldn't know it because every time I show a gameplay, we look like the reincarnation of the Celtics with Paul Pierce and KG and Ray Allen. So that's reason number 1. Number 2 is that I'll throw trade in the title for any reason, okay? Any reason at all to get those extra views, okay? I mean, I thought to myself for a second, you know what, Avery Bradley is okay. Throw trade in the title, put Bradley in the thumbnail, all that. But now, let's try to brainstorm a way that this series could get even worse. Well, I've been setting up this entire series to trade for Demarcus Cousins, okay, the star of the Sacramento Kings. And as we saw just recently, Demarcus had a falling out with Vivek Ranadive, and Demarcus is now on the trade block. So what if I stooped to a new low, and I traded for Demarcus Cousins, and in the result of doing this, I gave the Sacramento Kings the Brooklyn Nets pick, and the 76ers gave the Kings Joel Embiid, and then I gave the Dallas Mavericks pick to the Sixers. What if all that happened, right? And then I made this huge big intro about Demarcus Cousins coming to Boston, and I could go into great detail on how some of the great big men in Celtics history, like Bill Russell for his defense and his teamwork, and Kevin Garnett for his intensity, and Kevin McHale and Robert Parrish, all these great big men passing the torch onto Demarcus Cousins wearing green. And then we had our first game with Demarcus. And, you know, I don't really know who we'd be facing. I mean, in a perfect world, we'd be facing some stacked team so we could see just how good we really are. But we'll probably go up against some team that's barely going to make the playoffs. We should beat, is the best way to put it. And we go up against them, and Demarcus just balls out, okay? Demarcus just plays a great game. He's everything I want him to be. He's dunking on everybody. He's grabbing rebounds. He's blocking shots. He's being exactly what I wanted out of Demarcus Cousins. But then something weird happens. Now remember, if this were to happen, this hasn't happened, of course. If we traded for Demarcus Cousins, he would be going from Sacramento. And the reason why he demanded a trade from the Kings was because it was a situation that wasn't right for him, okay? We got the star player Demarcus, the rest of the roster sucks. You got Rajon Rondo, who can't hit a 15-foot jump shot. Sorry, Rajon. And so he comes to Boston. And then in the result of coming to Boston, he's got all these great teammates around him. He's got Brad Stevens as a head coach. It's fantastic. Everybody wins, right? Well, what if the flip side happens and we lost our first game with Demarcus Cousins? I mean, that would make this the worst My GM on YouTube. Who makes a big trade and then loses? I mean, I thought you were supposed to make a huge trade and then drop the difficulty down so you're guaranteed to win. I know I've done it in the past. Have I ever affected sliders in order to influence the outcome of a game? Yeah, probably. Let's be honest, I probably have. But wouldn't that be funny? Wouldn't that be funny if we went up against some random team after trading for Demarcus Cousins and we lost? And we lost by like 12 points, 15 point, double digits definitely. And then this huge trade just ends up blowing up in my face because, I mean, we lost the game and we essentially become the Sacramento Kings, which is a bunch of whatever surrounding Demarcus Cousins, and Demarcus just balls the hell out. But we don't know what the hell we're doing as a team. Wouldn't that just be funny? Man, if that happened, that would be by far the worst. That would make this the worst My GM on YouTube. But don't worry, that won't happen, okay? We'll trade for Demarcus, and it'll be beautiful. And I'm sure we'll go on to do great things, and we'll make the playoffs, and we'll win some championships.